Hello, everyone. Gridiron Gladiator people all over tradition forums. I am Bama Grad. Welcome tonight. I will be doing bowl projections this year, but since it is the start of the season, it's a little bit too early to kind of figure out bowl predictions and all that type of thing. So I'm just going to kind of take it by ear right now and just kind of look at the start of the season. Kudos to BK. Uh, to BK. He is the commissioner of Gridiron Gladiators. Uh, thank you for giving us the opportunity for several other people to do their content. Alien, I'll just call you Ohio State. Great job on your show. I heard it. Fantastic job, my friend. You sound like a absolutely awesome host, and I hope you continue to do that. But for me, I'm just kind of kicking this off this week. I'm going to kind of wait to do more of my shows as the weeks get more along the way and that type of thing. So I'll probably wait until like weeks 8 or 9 to kind of chime in with the bowl projections from there, because about that time, that's when it starts getting dicey for everybody on their seasons, and you kind of know from there what's going to go on, and I can give you more in depth. Other than that, we're just going to kind of get going here tonight. I'm going to start off with the commish, and he as we restructured Gridiron Gladiators and put ourselves in some awesome stuff here this year. We moved some teams around a whole lot, but we made the Big Ten into the Big 12, and so that was awesome. And then the Pac-10 went to the ACC and all that stuff. So it'll be interesting. Actually, the Pac-12 now, but we'll call it that there. Other than that, the SEC is still the same. But BK Hogg, he's got Arkansas this year, and as I'm looking at the schedule right now, he's got a pretty tough schedule. Everybody, I think, has a murderous schedule this year. I think BK Hogg just purposely set that up to kind of see who the true players were in this league. Kudos to you, my friend. Great job. But it will be interesting. He starts off with Wisconsin. The next week, he's got 92, Ohio State at the Hog Pen. I'm going to call it that, the Hog Pen. And then he's got Georgia, then me, also at the Hog Pen. And then Penn State, Mike Dredd, CCAM, one at he goes to Stanford in that next week. And then he's got the doable Auburn Tigers, team I absolutely hate and love to hate. And then, of course, Ole Miss, Vanderbilt, South Carolina. He takes on Titan Gator in that matchup. That's going to be a huge game there. Of course, it is East versus West. So, and then he has a bye week in week 11. And Mississippi State, LSU, and of course, LSU for the Golden Boot at the end of the year. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there in that battle. I'm going to go to myself because I'm going to go alphabetically. I opened up with Baylor, and then I've got a murder's row of games. I got 5 user games right back to back to back to back to back to back. I got Penn State, Mike Dredd, CCAM, and Stanford, Arkansas, of course, BK, Florida, Sox and Gators, who we both know each other from Evolution, as he runs the UCF Dynasty over there, and I run Hawaii. And so this will be the first time he and I have met up on the football field. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in that game. South Carolina, Titan Gator, and then Ole Miss, Tennessee. Then I have a bye week, week 9. Then LSU, Mississippi State. And then he changed my Georgia State game to Clemson, and then Auburn at the end. And then, of course, we'll have to see where the dice rolls for the SEC championship by that point. And then next, I'm going to go with Sox and Gators in Florida. They open up with Boise State. He's got a tough run there. Then he takes on USC, and then Tennessee, Kentucky. Then he travels to Titletown, take on my team, and then LSU, Mississippi State, bye week in week 8, Georgia, Vanderbilt, at Vanderbilt, then Titan Gator in South Carolina. I think that battle right there is going to pretty much decide the East, because I think it's going to come down to South Carolina, Florida, just like it did this year in real life. So it will be interesting to see from there. Then as a bye week, he has North Texas, which should be just scrub material for Sox and Gators. And then he ends the year with the Big Blue of Michigan and Mizzle. So that's going to be a huge matchup there. My God. Mish again. Boy, you can't get a better game than that. And of course, Florida State, their rivals, is not on the schedule this year, so that will be kind of a break for Florida State. uh, so as we go along here, and we move on down here, if I'm missing anybody, please tell me now. It's kind of hard to really find everybody in this league, but South Carolina, Michigan, Mizzle, he's got a pretty tough schedule as he opens up with Arizona State, then DePaul against Oregon, and then South Carolina, Titan Gator, a bye week, Minnesota bye week, and then Indiana, Purdue, Illinois, Iowa, Northwestern, Nebraska, at Michigan State, and then Florida at the end, and then of course we'll have to see from there what happens there. And then of course you got the rest of the teams, Oregon and all that team. I think they got a pretty tough line themselves, but it's going to be interesting. Next team down, DePaul with Oregon. That's going to be an interesting year for them. I've seen DePaul battle other dynasties. He's done absolutely well in those, and I think I have him in SEC speed, and so it'll just be interesting how that goes from there. Ken 10 has USC and the Trojans. We'll have to see if he can lead the glory back on the field for the Trojans. CCAM 1 with Stanford. He's got Andrew Luck as his quarterback. Excellent arm, but we'll see what Stanford can do this year. And then Arizona State and the Sun Devils. That's going to be an interesting matchup. That's going to be an interesting year for them because that's going to be kind of one of those Sun Devils. You know, they're going to be interesting. They open up with Michigan, then Boise State, then USC, then Cal, then Stanford, then Colorado, then they get bye week, and then at Washington State, then a bye week, and then Utah, and then UCLA, and then UCLA, Arizona, and Penn State in Mike Dread. So it will be interesting to see from there how the year goes and everything. From there. And then of course, Alien Mick of Ohio State, as they also are in the got moved to the new Big 12 this year. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. But he gets pretty much a pretty decent schedule. He's got Oregon right off the bat. He's got Arkansas, a bye week, then USC, then Nebraska. Then he gets a bye week. Then he gets Mike Dread and Penn State. Then Iowa, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Purdue, Titan Gator, and South Carolina at the end. And then, so we'll see what happens in the championship game, who gets there and what. So it will be interesting. But like I said, this is kind of just a kickoff for me to kind of get Gridiron Gladiators, the new Gridiron Gladiators, off and running to a good start. As we are all hoping for a good year from our teams this year. It will be interesting to see what happens in the, what will happen in the top 25 polls and all that stuff, what's going to happen with that and all that type of thing. But like I said, this is kind of like my kickoff for this league, as I'm going to kind of wait till week 8 and kind of see where teams are going then, and then kind of give my hard-on predictions from there. What teams are really in the running for the national title, and who do I think will make it to the BCS championship, and then of course who do I think will land in whatever bowls will be available. It will be an interesting year, so it will be fun. So I will be here most of the year, and until that time, when it starts getting close and nitty on the bowl projections, I will see you then. Have yourselves a great evening, and catch you later.